Better catch all of these. Better catch all the throws back.
Let's go Zane Mania.
You know, Periscope.
Alright, back to fastball. One of you catchers not doing anything, feed me the tennis balls. Oh, no, Joey's down there still. Take off. So, you know, I feel like this year in the American Association, I applied all the.
Just going to be the bite on the ball or
yeah. I mean, or like that's, you know, for them they don't know what that means. So, but. This much off of your fastball if you want, you know what I mean? Like there's so many, and then obviously for me, like I said, it helped me to realize some things about my stuff, and you know.
So you got something that measures the spin rate?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that little ball has a computer chip in it. We've been measuring kids now. We started measuring last year, and then we loved what we saw. Because everybody focuses so much on velocity. Well, it's, I mean, I think velocity is kind of going the way of the dodo bird because it's really, yeah, velocity is all fine and dandy, but really for guys that aren't 94 plus, it's about the spin and how much spin you can either add or take off. So, you know, I feel like this is such an untapped thing. No one ever talks about how many times your ball spins to home plate, which is, in my opinion, more relevant than velocity. So, yeah, we've been measuring it now for a year. When I went and played this year in the American Association, I applied all the stuff that I had learned. And I'm telling you what, man, it made a huge difference in my game. So, yeah, it's amazing what information, once you know, you can apply. It's insane. So
that spin rate is just going to be, the effects are just going to be the bite on the ball or
yeah, I mean,
or maybe the how late it breaks, how sharp it breaks, or doesn't.
Yeah, that's
anything else.
I mean, that's pretty much the name of the game right there. But, you know, like I said, if you're not a guy throwing plus velocity, you know, your game should be location and spin. So, you know, a lot of guys, I guess we're so focused on velocity.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because I know young guys especially are trying to impress scouts, go places, and what's everybody impressed by?
Yeah.
Velocity. They're not impressed that you can throw your slider with 38 spins a second. You know, like that's, you know, for them, they don't know what that means. So, but,
that was outside.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good pitch. Anyway, yeah, like, so, you know, for example, they're just now coming out with all this stuff for the major leagues and their spin rates, and you know, like I'll give you an example. So like Verlander can spin his curveball at 45 to 50 spins a second, okay? RPS spins a second. So, you know, if you're a kid right now in high school and you're only throwing 30, you have a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but this can help identify kids early on. Like if I had a couple kids last year that were throwing some really tremendous curveballs as a senior in high school.
Yeah.
It's only getting better for them.
Sure.
So why would I not? That kid might throw 80, but his curveball spin rate is fantastic. Why would I not recruit that kid?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, so for us and BBC, it's really cool because we're pretty much the only people that do it. You know, I don't know anybody else in the valley that comes around and says, "Hey, let me get your spin rate, and I'll tell you what that means."
Yeah.
You know, so,
I've been around baseball a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's.
I mean, I've heard spin rate, but not to the point where let's monitor it or measure it.
Yes, and that's the cool part is from last year, I've started to notice correlations in. Okay, if you're throwing a 2-seam, you want it between here and here. If you're throwing a 4-seam, you want it between here and here. If you're throwing a changeup, you want this much off of your fastball. If you want, you know what I mean? Like there's so many, you know, baseball is such a stat-driven game, and now I'm starting to see that with the spin. You know, like I take my kids, and then you know, like I said, since I'm a pro, I took the ball actually with me this year, and I would measure all of our guys on the T-bones. And I could say, okay, well, this guy has a plus slider, and this is what it does.
Yeah.
How do we get our kids to do that? You know, so it was cool, man. It was really cool. So, and then obviously for me, like I said, it helped me to realize some things about my stuff, and you know,